So this is going to be a bit of a catch-up. We've got some donations. We've got a promotion if you're feeling thirsty. And we've also got something that I've been working on. Yes, there's actually going to be some talking and showing off something other than Game Boy game footage. Can you believe it? Welcome to the Retro Bear channel. Yes, apologies for the angled Generation Pixel in the introduction, but something had to be done. Welcome to a rather warm gaming pantry for this, I suppose really it's a bit of an update and a couple of things thrown in. As I mentioned, we've got something I've been working on. You're going to be interested, hopefully, to see how that turned out. We've also got a little bit of a promotion for a friend of mine, only fair to do something like that as well, because he's done enough for me over the years, and you know, besides I want to make sure that he gets enough people watching it so he can carry on doing what he does. But first, we're going to start with a donation and a letter, and well, amongst the letters we usually get, which, you know, are very, very nice, but they're usually written in either blood, feces, or use bits of newspaper, and generally sort of saying stop, please stop. But you know, I carry on, and that's why we've done 764,000 videos so far in the very short time I've been on YouTube. However, that's it. So I completely out of the blue got a message the other day at work from Mrs. Bear saying a parcel's arrived for you, and I thought, well, I have not ordered anything, and I wasn't expecting anything to be sent to me, which is one of the joys of being in this collective, really, because every now and again somebody thinks that you are worthwhile enough to send them something for nothing, or something, probably phrase that better, something that you'd appreciate as part of your ongoing collection to fill your house with as much stuff as you possibly can. What's more worrying, our local BBC regional news broadcast, Midlands Today, has been putting out a series of videos this week about hoarders, which has been very interesting to watch, because you can see an awful lot of similarity between the two. But yes, I think we all realise that we have some sort of addictive personality going on, which is why we just tend to fill our houses with plastic tat and keep doing so for some reason, even though we all sit here, and we've probably all sat here many times over the years at least once. I've had enough now, I ain't going to buy any more now, I'm going to buy any more for ages, and next thing you know, you're doing pickups videos. I'm looking at you, Birdsall. Yes, you. I'm not buying any more games. Oh, no. The pickups videos just come out. Anyway, so I got a box sent to me. I'm taking the address off, so I'm going to do it like this. And my immediate attention was drawn to the fact that, well, this must be somebody who sent me something, because they've spelt my name wrong on the box. It's always a bad sign, isn't it? You know, I can spell my own name, but other people sometimes don't know how to do it. And then I opened it up, and I was even more confused, because it had got that on the inside. Now, not that I have anything bad or good to say about CEX, but I don't order from CEX online. So I'm really intrigued now to open that up and find out what it is. It's got all the brown crap in there that, you know, you see various people showing off. And then there was a letter inside. It's always good. We do like letters. I do keep all my letters, actually. People sent me stuff over the years. People who aren't even on YouTube anymore sent me letters. I do keep them. And because sometimes people don't write on what they sent me, I've got no idea what they sent me in the first place. And I'll say, they sent me that? Or they've sent me something over the years? I don't know. Anyway, so we got a letter, which I shall read out to you. Dear Mr. Bear, which off to a good start. As Scotland's most premier, no, sorry, not premier, sorry, wrong word there, senior, he might be premier, I don't know. As Scotland's most senior Sony Pony representative, I always hated that term, Sony Pony. I don't know, you know, are you an Atari Wari, or, you know, a Spectrum Rectrum? I don't know. What Microsoft call? Are they Xbox Schmexbox. I don't know. I didn't like the idea of it. So I'll start again. Only I can make a letter last 5 minutes, which is like 2 paragraphs. As Scotland's most senior Sony Prony representative, I would like to thank you for sharing your wonderful PlayStation 3 collection. Now, if you don't know what he's talking about, I redid my PlayStation 3 collection for YouTube purposes, other than the fact that I hadn't uploaded anything for ages, and I had nothing to show off. So I went through that in a couple of videos. Thank you very much to those who watched it and enjoyed it. I know quite a few did. And if you haven't seen it, if you've got 3 hours to spare, it's probably tucked away somewhere. I did, however, the letter goes on, notice certain upgrades that your splendid collection required. So they use the word splendid there. Very good. I like that. Please find enclosed the items necessary. Now, it says here, please find enclosed the necessary items to bolster your collection. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not sure if this person has a, I don't want to say that, what's the right word? Yes, you know what I'm going, you know what I'm thinking of. We're all thinking the same thing, but I don't want to sort of say on that. But anyway, kind regards, J. Stewart, CEO, Generation Pixel Enterprises, Grandmaster Sony Pony Collective. Interesting, he's put the word. It's got J. Stewart, so I'm going to the J stands for Jimmy because he's from Scotland. But yes, so this is from our very, very good friend, Generation Pixel. There we go. So thank you very much indeed for that, Stuart. Great pleasure meeting you last year in Scotland. And yes, I was absolutely delighted to note that he'd sent me some PlayStation 3 games, which, as he quite rightly points out, can definitely bolster the collection. I can throw that on the floor there. I've not shown my address off. So I wasn't quite sure what was in here, and obviously this is one of the great joys of doing this, is people do actually pay attention to what you're showing off. And I went through all these, and I was confused by a couple of them. I thought, I've already got that. And then I realised what had happened. But also, the first thing on the shelf, he sent me some manuals. Because there were some of the games in there, as you go through your collection, you sometimes pick up stuff willy-nilly without realising that you don't get the manuals for them. And then you realise years later that, why did I never pick the manuals up? For goodness sake, if you're starting this getting down this hobby that we're in, this addiction, this, black hole of despair, make sure you decide whether you want manuals first or not. Don't decide halfway through that actually everything I need now has to have a manual, because you'll never get them back. Although these three possibly slightly different. But anyway, so first of all, a manual for Assassin's Creed. Yes, I have Assassin's Creed without a manual. How is that possible? There are like 8 zillion copies of this in the world, and mine doesn't have a manual. It has now. Lovely. Also got one for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Bear in mind, these games that I just haven't really got into properly. But there's a bit of extra bump in there as well, some other bits and pieces to go with that as well. So it's not just the manual, but the free bits that came out of it as well, which I nearly dropped on the floor. And then this one was great. God of War Ascension. The only God of War game I actually own in my collection. And now it's complete. So, Stuart, thank you very much to those three. That was really appreciated, like that. And I probably should spend more time hunting for manuals and things like that, but, yeah, can't be asked. Yeah, too much hassle. And then he sent me 4 games, which was lovely of him to do that, because I didn't ask him to do that. Didn't ask anybody to do this. And I'm not sure whether this is in reciprocation for a game I sent him at Christmas, which I'd bought by accident. And I thought, well, I know somebody might like that, so I sent it to him anyway. So yes, I want to think this is a return for that. I don't know. Anyway, these are all gratefully received. The first one is I've only got a disc of, and again I can't remember how I'm just going to disc of it. But I mean, it's not on PLC. It's not a particularly good game anyway. But it's Aliens: Colonial Marines, and this is the limited edition with some download bonus in-game content. I know it's not meant to be a particularly good game. I've never actually played it, but I do own it. Like I said, without the actual cover and everything. I think mine's got the manual. But yeah, so that was nice. I mean, it's not an expensive game, is it? I mean, this is just, a very, very thoughtful gift Then we've got Bioshock, which we had originally. And as I said, I think in the original video we must have traded it away or something. But it's all nice and complete. Yeah, a lovely gift this is, really, really nice. Really nice to see. And then another game which I've only got the disc of, again, I don't know why, and this is Dead Space. But there we go, so absolutely lovely. There's no help coming. Yes, there is no help coming. I know that feeling all too well. And then finally, a game which I opened this with sort of Mrs. Bear sat down and watched me open it, or I opened it and then showed her afterwards. And I said, "Oh, look what else we've been sent as well." And it's Fallout 3, which is a game she spent so much time playing. And then she said, "Whatever happened to our copy of that?" I said, "Well, if you remember," and I said this in the video. You traded it in for New Vegas, and within a week you hated New Vegas and you wish you'd never traded it in. Whether she'll sit down in front of this again, I don't know. But she did lose so much time on that anyway. Not really my sort of game, but to have that back in the collection is brilliant. So what a lovely gift from Mr. Generation Pixel. He's done a few generous things for me over the years, and like I said, got the great chance to meet him last year, and it wasn't long enough, Stuart, as always these things are, but those are really great. Thank you so much indeed for that. Wasn't expecting that at all. So they'll go straight into the PlayStation collection. I'll get rid of those 2 loose discs, and I'll probably do something with them. I don't know. Throw them at next door's dogs, possibly. If you're watching next door, I don't mean that. I wouldn't do that. You probably know where they come from anyway, but that's the main thing. So yeah, so some great gifts going straight back into the collection, and yeah, that'll push me ever close to 4,000 physical games now, I think, which is great. You'll notice there's an increase in production value in this video. Well, I say increase in production value, I'm sort of splitting it down a bit, and that's the reason I'm doing that, is because I've only brought half the stuff upstairs with me, so I need to film bits of it now, and then I'll film the other bits later on. So, you know, if there's lots of cutting and swerving about and segues and things, then, yeah, you're not watching a different channel, don't worry. I haven't been on a film-making course or anything like that. Anyway, you might notice it's got rather warmer this week, and probably by the time this video has gone out, it's considerably cooler than it was last week. And of course, it's bank holiday, perfect time to enjoy some of the more luxurious things in life, while we all enjoy an extra day off. It would have been nice to get an extra day off on Friday, wouldn't it? Because the 80th anniversary celebrations. I believe there was a rumour going around at the start of the year that potentially was going to happen, which was all rather exciting, because we had the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, wasn't it? Or I can't remember what it was. A few years ago, we all got an extra day off for that. And we thought we might get an extra day off for this one as well, but apparently not. Which is, I suppose, really, in retrospective, not a bad thing, because we are sort of celebrating the end of a massive loss of the world's life. Yeah, we should all have a day off to celebrate that, shouldn't we? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, I digress. So it's got warmer, and people start going outside, enjoying things, and getting out in the open once more. As if it was post-lockdown. And the good weather makes someone want to go to the pub if you like a drink. And so you might be feeling rather thirsty at this point in time. And I mean, when this video is at 8 o'clock in the morning, if you're enjoying a drink at 8 o'clock tomorrow on this morning that you're watching this, yeah, you might need to have a little bit of a look in the mirror for yourself, just to see what take stock of your life. But if it's 8 o'clock in the evening, then obviously you've had quite an enjoyable day. You may have already had half a barrel of lager or something like that. Anyway, your good friend of mine, Big Game Al. Yes, Big Game Al. Takes a lot of stick. I always say it's about Al. Takes a lot of stick, but he can certainly give it back. And we all love him, really. No, we do love him. Really. He's a great friend of ours. And it's a pleasure to know him, not just from working and doing YouTube, but having been out to events and spent time with him socially and stuff like that. He's a really good fella. And I just wanted to give a quick pop to him for a new channel he started. Basically, going through one of his passions, which is, I wanted to say drinking, because that doesn't sound right either, does it? No. Beer, alcohol, all sorts of different things, IPAs, stouts, lagers, bitters, ciders maybe, I don't know, do you drink cider? Possibly. It'll drink anything if it's not nailed down. But yes, so he started a new channel. Yes, as if Al needs a second channel. I mean, cripes, I didn't watch the first one, but yeah, he's done another one now. And he did a stream a few weeks ago on a Saturday night where 4 or 5 of us got together and basically sort of... it was Big Game Al's virtual pub. There's 5 of us sitting there, and he sort of played this trailer a few times during it, which was great because we hadn't seen it before. We were all reacting to it and sort of taking the mick a little bit. But no, fair play to him. He's done this because, you know, it's a passion of his, and he thought, well, these videos aren't doing so well on my gaming channel. Want to start a second channel and sort of do that. And, you know, I take his point. You know, I take his point. Some of the things that I enjoy doing on this corner of the internet, I don't particularly want to stick on this channel because I wanted this channel to be sort of focused on my gaming interest. But as time has gone on, this has sort of very much become sort of a bit of a brick on a rope round the neck sort of thing, and maybe that some of the stuff I've done, you know, like to do with films and television and wrestling and other stuff, would find a better home on another channel. And people who wanted to watch the gaming stuff could watch this, and if you wanted to watch other stuff, you can watch that. If you want to watch neither, you'll go and watch something else. Yeah. So I thought what I'd do is I'd run Al's trailer here just so you can see it. He's not paid me to do this. I'm simply doing it out of the kindness of my heart because I used to do this years and years ago. Shout out lots of different channels. So if this is your thing, go across and give Al a big subscription and tell him I sent you. And he'll really appreciate it until we can get his second channel off the ground. Anyway, here's the trailer. I'll let you make your own minds up. But yeah, and good luck with it, Al. Honestly, sincerely, mate, good luck with it. Hope it becomes a big success for you.
Hello and welcome to White Glove Beers. Yes, when the gloves go on, it's time to examine some beers. So, what are you likely to see on this channel? Literally anything to do with alcohol. You're going to have your beers, your pilsners, your sours, your fruit beers, your hells, your IPAs, your New England Pale Ales, your craft beers, all your pale stuff. Yes, bitters, Weiss beers, wheat beers, porter, stouts, ciders, beer machines, spirits, and even some bar snacks chucked in. So yeah, we've got kegs, we've got bottles, we've got cans. We're going to be reviewing such brands as the fantastic Brew York, love Brew York, Vault City, Brew Tune, who I may say do some of the best can designs. This one's not really anything to shout about, but some of the stuff they do is amazing. And our friends over in Croatia, the Garden Brewery. So yeah, we're just going to bring you all sorts of reviews. So if this is the sort of channel you want to watch, all your beer reviews, we're looking to go to breweries, we're going to go to towns, see the pubs. Yeah, we're just going to review everything. So yeah, if this is it, stick around. And we'll get some kegs on the go as well.
And one of the first things I said to him after he did that video was, when did he take up comedy? And also, I said it on the stream, but I didn't say on the stream at the time, but I did think about half an hour after I got off the stream what I really should have said was, Mickey Mouse has really let himself go, hasn't he? He really has. But anyway, best of luck with the channel, Al. We wish you all the best, mate. And if you can go across and show Al some support, that'd be great. Sorry, so with the new Alexa sound going in the background there. I don't know what's going on. All sorts of strange noises in this house. None of them emanate from me. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so on to the last part of this sort of multi-cut, revolutionary Robert Rodriguez type style direction that we're going in here. And, one for the film buffs there. So I mentioned I've been busy doing stuff, yes, because I had a week off work. The intention was to sort out the gaming pantry. Oh, yeah. That really went well. Yeah, it's still in the same upturned state that it is now. It is very much resembling these people I've seen on the television hoarding stuff. There is piles of stuff everywhere. I'm going to say the word crap. Oh, crap, I've said it now. No, it's not crap, it's good stuff. No, I just couldn't do it. Anyway, so while you're watching this on Bank Holiday Monday, I might actually be doing something to do with it. I've got to get it sorted out. I really have to. But anyway, so I got roped into working for Mrs. Bear for 2 days. Can you believe that? I have a week off work and I end up spending working for her for 2 days. For free? Oh yeah, for free. I don't get paid for it. Oh, no. Yeah, giving up my time on my holiday to help her. I'm joking. I actually offered. Well, actually, she offered. No, I think she mentioned, would I like to do this? And I said, well, why not? And it was nice because obviously she's had the new bench installed just before Christmas. I may have mentioned before. I must get some. I'll try and insert some photographs if I've got anything here of what it looks like now. It's off the dining room table. That's the main thing. That was always before Christmas. Where are we going to eat Christmas dinner this year? In the shed, possibly. Or anywhere that's got a flat surface. But no, she got all the stuff off the table, bought a bench, put the bench together, remodelled the workshop. I think Jace at Retro Games has seen the workshop recently. I don't think anybody else has. But yeah, so he's done all that. So she's now got a space where, she's now got more space. She's got people who've been in here will know I've got a big sort of worktop here. She's now probably got that same length of space. So she can sort of put things there rather on the floor or on the shelves or wherever. She puts some racking in as well. It doesn't look like a dining room anymore. It's like half a workshop with a dining room table stuck in the middle of it. And so she can work on one off, leave some stuff over there. She starts working on something, moves that to one side. She's waiting for parts. She'll move something else onto the other side and go through there. So there's plenty of room for us to sit there together. So she's working on something here, which I'm not going to say because you should be following her on Instagram to find out what she's been doing. Really, really intriguing stuff. And then she said, right, there you go, get on with it. And, thanks. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here, and basically she bought, the week before the first week of Easter, a Commodore 64. Yes, Commodore 64. From one of our local independent traders for a snip, really. And it had been tested, but it couldn't. They couldn't get the games to load or something like that. So she bought it, and I had to go and pick it up. And so I'll show you that in a second, because it's not up here at the moment. I'll talk about it very quickly. So basically what I've done is, this is great, isn't it? It was filthy. It was filthy, dirty, disgusting. It looked like something had been spilt on it at some point, because when I opened it up, there appeared to be half a dinner inside it. Cobwebs, fluff, all sorts of things. So opened it up, we took everything out, so cleaned the inside of the computer, took the keyboard out, cleaned the keyboard, took all the keys off. If you've ever done something like this, it's a real painstaking thing. Take all the keys, clean the individual keys. We've had to replace a couple of the springs. It was missing a key, which you'll see in a minute. You'll have to try and work out which key it's missing. So we robbed some stuff off of VIC-20. Cleaned all that up, cleaned the outside as well, gave the tape deck a service, and did some play testing, which was interesting because it sort of highlighted a couple of games that I have that possibly now don't work, which is weird. Although I did, when I thought, when I was doing the test, I thought, is the tape deck working or not? I don't show. So I brought one of my own tape decks, which I know that works, which is the one I had set up in Commodore Corner. I had two set up in Commodore Core in case one didn't work, I could try it in the other. And I brought the one down, and I was getting the same result out of that, but then I brought some other stuff down, and that was working. So, as always with tape games, it doesn't look apparent that you're going to have a problem with them, because everything looks okay, the tape looks fine, whatever. We ran through the I can't remember what it's called now. There's a tape which basically checks the calibration. It's got a copy of Joe Blade on there as well. So you run that, and then you can load in Joe Blade, and then it should play as on, which it did. So it can't be a problem with the tape deck. So unfortunately, it looks like possibly some of the stuff that I've got, which I'm really annoyed about, won't actually work. It's a real kick in the teeth. However, it's not a problem, because the games I was trying to load, which I think was Grisor, which did load and then crashed, and Barbarian, it's on a Commodore 64, those two failed to load on the Commodore 64 and via my tape deck, and I have those elsewhere in my collection, so no problem. We tried Turbo Outrun with it, it was absolutely fine. We tried The Last Ninja with it, it was absolutely fine. Joe Blade worked absolutely fine with it. There was another game, so I think 4 out of the 6 games we tried all worked on both on both tape decks, and 2 games didn't work on both tape decks, which I could try on the third tape deck. I might get lucky on it, I don't know, but generally speaking, from that point there, that sounds like that tape's got a bit of a problem with it. It is what it is. I shall cut away, and I shall show you what I've done, and you can sort of judge for yourself my cleaning skills. I think we could have photographed the original. I'll try and find that as well if we can. But I mean, honestly, it was Commodore 64 aren't the greatest colour in the world, but this was like a dirty, sort of grubby beige. It's certainly an awful lot better now, but I'll talk you through it when I go and find it, and then you can have a look and see for yourself. Right, so quick background to this one. If I do appear to be sniffing and snuffling and dribbling my way through this portion of the video, as you know, I've changed my t-shirt. I'm recording this a couple of days later. I don't know what's happened. I've woken up this morning, it's Sunday, and I've gone downstairs and I have started sneezing, and I just cannot fathom what is going on. I don't know if it's hay fever, which I've never had in my life before, or it might be a cold. I don't feel like a cold. I don't feel ill. It's just really weird. It's like not as warm as it has been. The sun's been in this morning. I briefly popped out yesterday, but every time I sniff, I've got something sort of twitching the back of my nose there. It's weird. Mrs. Bear gets hay fever, so I'm entirely laying this. I've caught it from her. I know you can't transmit hay fever from one person to another, but my eyes are really heavy, and I just feel really weird. So if it comes across, I'm going like that all the time. That's what it is. I mean, my nose is red as well this morning. I'm doing nothing but going through tissues and goodness knows what. Not that way, as in blowing my nose. Anyway, we were going to show the Commodore 64, weren't we? That's what we're going to do. Right, hang on a second. So, this is what I restored. There we go. Now you'll notice that, I did say spot the difference. There is obviously a replacement key. That's just a holder at the moment, so we know where it is. That's from a VIC-20. But what I've done, I'll just show you the ins and outs of this here. This was like a much, much darker, muckier, filthier colour than this when we first got it. And I've taken this apart, cleaned it in and out, taken all the keys off. You have to use a puller for that sort of thing. If you never done this before, there's like a little tool, like a prong, like a pair of tongs, cooking tongs, with a barbecue, something like that. And you sort of slip them down the side of the keys, and then turn them to one side, and you can pull them out. And there's like a series of springs of that's all come out, all been cleaned, all tidied off. Looks a lot better than it used to. So that's that there. And then it also came with, I'm not going to get the power supply out and stuff like that, because you don't need to see that, but we just came out with the data cassette. Now there was 2 things wrong with this. Firstly, it was the same dirty colour as the Commodore 64, so that's been cleaned in and out. New belt's gone into it. A bit of degrease has gone onto the cogs inside, and there was a little issue with the cassette cover. Now still not quite right because it's actually broken. We put some glue on a part and put it back together. It does open and shut properly. It holds the tape in place. It's not drastically important. You can still run it without there because we were testing a game with it with the actual cover. It's off, so you put that on there. And it also came with all the wires, a power supply. It came with a gun, yeah, and a cable I've dropped on the floor. A light gun. This what they call this one. I can't remember. It wasn't a Predator, was it? No, the Defender. Yeah, the Defender. And it also came with a joystick as well, which again is not something you see every day. One of these. Now this is a Quick Shot something or other. Quick Shot. I don't know which one that one is. It's not my preferred choice of joystick, but I mean it works very well. The fire buttons work. We tested those as well. It's a bit loose, but it's responsive. It does what it needs to do. I didn't have any issues controlling anything when I was playing it, and to be fair, it's in pretty good condition as well. So yeah, so I spent all that time putting that together. Like I said, took it apart, put it all in. I'll put this away afterwards. I took it all apart, tested it, cleaned it, put it all back together again. The capacitors and stuff didn't need doing. The board needed a good clean, but after a good clean, it looked pretty good. There didn't seem to be any traces or anything like that were faulty. Like I said, it powered on absolutely fine. No problem with power coming through it. It's just that sometimes when you're loading tape games, you know, if you are interested in that sort of thing, you will know what I'm talking about. Some games just don't want to load, no matter what, you know, how many times you try and load them and how differently you do things. Like I said, a couple of games I tried didn't work on either of my cassette players. We know that one's fine because we've tested that and calibrated it and run the tape through it, no issues. And the same tape failed on that one and also one of my own ones, which probably means that there is an issue with the tape somewhere. Can't see any issues with the tape. You look at it and there's no mould or anything on it or like that, or lines or any creases or anything like that. Seems to go absolutely fine, but sometimes they just don't want to load. That unfortunately is the pitfall of collecting tape games. There's no guarantee they're going to work. They're more unreliable than 3.5-inch floppy disks, which are prone to mould, and I tend not to collect those there because they can be quite expensive to get if you buy a boxed one. So, you know, some of this stuff up here, the Amiga stuff, can be quite expensive just to pick up a boxed version. Again, no guarantee that it's going to work even if you can't see anything on the disc. Tape games, very much like that, although in my experience, I have much more of a success rate in terms of tape games loading than perhaps most people do, although I don't do a lot in it. I have got an awful lot of tape games. I've got over 1,000 tape games. I can't say I've tried every single one. But my hit rate tends to be a lot better than my fail rate. So yeah, so there you go. So I mean, that was fun to do. I mean, I can't imagine ever having the knowledge up here to be able to do the stuff that Mrs. Bear does. It's physically impossible. But that you know, that sort of thing I can do. I could, you know, I mean, you know, it doesn't sound like the most interesting thing in the world. It's sitting there taking apart the computer and cleaning it. I mean, it can't really be that exciting. But actually, you know, you sit back and you do a good job, and you go, wow, actually that was really impressive, and you know, it was really good to do. And again, you know, that was using, I think, was it window lean? Or was it a window lean bottle? I don't know, but you know, I don't think it was any sort of massively expensive degreasing cleaner. I think it was just bog standard stuff which works. So if you have stuff like that, then there's a very good chance that you can actually clean it up yourself. It's sort of the servicing on the inside and the technology and the electronics and things which I sort of struggle with. I did manage to do the belt. The belt was quite a bit of a challenge. You had to go through sort of 3 cogs, and you have to sort of lever it in. It doesn't sort of like, you don't put it in, it's got to lever in tight and whatever. And I managed to get that done first time. I was quite impressed with that. I'm not sure whether that's actually the equivalent of counting to 3. But I thought, yeah, it's an achievement. I didn't break the belt, I didn't break the cassette player, and I didn't humiliate myself at the same time, but I did it first time, so I was very happy with that. But yeah, so there you go. So yeah, it was quite fun to do that, and hopefully if we can get a replacement key for it, that's something that can be sold and moved on in the near future. So with that, back to the gaming pantry. So there you are. a bank holiday whiz through what's been going on lately. I know it's not very exciting, but honestly, yeah, that's as busy as I've been for ages. So I've not really gone anywhere, like I said, and not really done an awful lot. And now the good weather's coming, it might be time to start doing that. Yeah, so if you are heading to the Birmingham gaming market, which is upcoming on the 18th of May, yeah, is it the 18th of May? I can't remember. Was it for 2nd, 5th, 9th, 10th, 7th? Yeah, 18th of May. Yeah. Good luck, because a bin strike's still on. Apparently, contrary to popular belief, I don't live in Birmingham. So when people say, "How's the bins?" I'll say, "Well, mine's fine because mine gets collected every week, as it should do, because I'm in a different area." But yeah, the bin strike is still on, so I thoroughly recommend hazmat suits, breathing apparatus, and basically as much protective clothing and material as you could possibly get hold of. Yeah, because I will. Yeah, it's not been pretty. Put it that way. I'm sure you've all read the stories and seen the stuff on the press. But yeah, it's not been great. Yeah, so probably won't be going to that one anyway. I just don't want to. Just not feeling it. But yeah, we'll see what's going on. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, sorry about all the gameplay stuff. I know people don't watch gameplay videos. Well, they don't watch my gameplay videos anyway. In fact, some of these Game Boy ones have probably ended up in the bottom reaches in my top 10 least viewed videos. I'm not bothered about that, by the way. It's just I just find it astonishing sometimes that, you know, what do you want? What do people want to see? I don't know. I don't really care anyway. I do care, but it doesn't let me bother me. It's I always think it's funny. You think, oh, that'll do well, and no, it doesn't. But anyway, so yeah, I think the last load went up on Friday, just gone. I have filmed some stuff weeks ago, which I haven't got around to doing the remainder of yet, so I will do it. And I've also got Retro Red Steve's challenge to do before the middle of May, which you haven't seen Retro Red Steve's PlayStation 1 challenge videos. I've talked about it many times before. I've even taken part in them. I even finished last in the last one. That's the first. Even Steve beat me. But we're doing Road Rash on the PlayStation 1. For the middle of April to the middle of May. The great thing about that is I didn't think I got it, and then I realised I got there's a charity compilation, Help charity compilation, which had Broken Sword, Tomb Raider on it, Broken Sword, something else, and Road Rash for some strange reason. And I've got proper Road Rash. I've got it on the Mega Drive, which is where it should be played. That's where I remember it from. And I've had a couple of goes off emulation because I didn't think I had it. Yeah, it's a strange old conversion, that one anyway. But we'll be having a go at that, so that'll be going up probably at some point before the middle of May. If you want to have a go, get a video uploaded, tag Steve in, and obviously let him know you've taken part. No prizes or anything like that, just a bit of bragging rights really. We're all waiting for Ross to have a go and just walk off with it again. But anyway, but nice to see some people having a go at that. It's good fun. Yeah, I don't know what else stuff in the meantime, but yeah, thanks very much indeed for watching. Hope you enjoyed your bank holiday, your wank holiday. You might have had one of those. I don't know. That was a bit of a slip of the tongue, wasn't it? Yeah, the tongue. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope you had a good bank holiday, or you're going to enjoy a good bank holiday, and everything in your life is good and proper. And I'll talk to you again soon. But until then, this is the Retro Bear bidding you farewell until I talk to you again. Ta-ra.